Most poker players are making one mistake that's destroying their results without them even realizing it. I've been a winning poker pro for 7 straight years, and fixing this is something I focus on every single session. In this video, I'll break down exactly how to correct it so you can start winning more consistently. This first hand is going to show the corrections you can make right away, as I am dealt ace-jack offsuit in under the gun +1 position. The $10 straddle is on, so I will open 3x to $30. It folds around to the villain in the big blind, and they will put in a call. The straddle is going to fold. We go heads up to a flop of 8-jack-4 rainbow. My opponent is going to check, and here comes the mistake you need to fix. You need to learn how to maximize your winnings and minimize your losses with top pair. It is one of the most common spots in poker we have to deal with. This first hand is simple so far with me having top pair, top kicker. I want to start building a pot with a strong hand, so I will find a C bet, aka continuation bet, for $50. Villain thinks about it for a couple of seconds and puts in the call. We go to the turn and it comes the 5 of clubs. They check, and now this is where things start to become a bit more interesting. The turn brings in a club backdoor flush draw and also completes some straights that could be in my opponent's range, such as 7-6 suited and possibly 7-6 offsuit. My specific holding wanted to put money in on the flop, but now it is a good idea to turn down their aggression, so I will check back. We go to the river and it comes the 5 of hearts. They think about it for a couple of seconds and check. The pairing of the 5 is also a little bit scary, since they could have a hand such as 7-5 suited and 6-5 suited that called with the gutter to the straight. However, there are still many hands we need to get called by with top pair, top kicker. Villain will still have a lot of Jack X hands such as King Jack, Queen Jack, Jack 10, Jack 9 suited, and maybe even Jack 7 suited. Also, they still have some pocket pairs such as 10s, 9s, 7s, and 6s that may not believe my bet check bet line. With so many hands in their range that will call, I will happily put in a river bet for $125. Too many times I see opponents play it passive here and check back their ace-jack, king-jack, and queen-jack, missing out on the river bet due to being afraid. After a couple of seconds, they put in a call. I turn over my ace-jack and they are going to muck their cards. Let's move on to the next hand in a different situation where I am dealt ace-queen offsuit in cutoff position. Before I continue, if you want to learn even more profitable strategies, you should grab my free guide, The Low Stakes Poker Blueprint, by scanning this QR code. It gives you the 100 rules I used to win for 7 straight years. You can also receive it by clicking the pinned comment in this video to visit my website. This time, a player in low jack will limp, and after it folds to me, I will raise the limp with such a strong holding. I make it $25 to go. It folds to big blind, and they will put in the call while the original limper will fold. We go heads up to a flop of ace-jack-king rainbow. Villain checks, and we are in a good spot again here with top pair, best kicker. My opponent is short stacked with only 50 big blinds, so my goal is going to be to stack them this hand. Keep in mind, they would never have a hand as strong as ace-king because they would have 3-betted pre-flop. There are some other 2-pair combinations they can have, but it is more likely for them to have a pair of aces or another pair I am currently ahead of. As usual, poker is a game of range versus range. I will c-bet for $15. After a couple of seconds, they will put in a call. The turn comes the 5 of clubs. Villain checks, and the plan is still the same here with such a strong hand. My opponent did not show any aggression on the flop with a check raise, so my hand will still be the best majority of the time. The club flush draw did come in on the turn, so I do have to worry about that. I also want to make sure that the sizing I choose on the turn allows me to go all in on clean rivers. I will size up here, placing out an overbet for $100. They take a bit longer this time, but eventually find the call. We go to the river and it comes the 10 of hearts. Villain checks, and now we have the nuts, aka the best hand possible. It is a fortunate run out, and we only have one option here. They have a little over 50% of the pot, and this is not the time to bet small. I want to make sure I stack my opponent, so I grab a stack of chips, forcing them all in. They do fold rather quickly, but the focus here is maximizing your winnings from the flop all the way to the river with top pair, and we did just that. Now, what if we hit our top pair on the flop, but face aggression that we have not seen so far? How do we handle this situation? We will see now as I am dealt ace-queen suited in under the gun position. I open 3x the blinds to $15. We will see our first multi-way pot as opponents in low jack, cutoff, small blind, and big blind put in the call. We are five-handed, headed to a flop of ace-2-4, 2 diamonds. It is an okay flop as I do have top pair, top kicker, but the board is connected with a diamond flush draw as well. With so many people in the hand, I must play more passively than I have in the previous hands. It is on small blind to act, and they will donk lead with a bet of $40. If you are not familiar with a donk lead, it is when someone who is out of position to the original aggressor pre-flop places a bet before they have a chance to act. Big blind is going to fold, and in this spot, it is not the time to start raising, so I will put in a call. Both of my opponents to my left are going to be folding. With villain and small blind donk betting here, especially into 4 other players, this is showing a massive amount of strength. People never do this without a strong hand. Villain can have pocket deuces or 4s for a set, 5-3 suited for the nut straight, or even some 2 pairs in their range currently. There is also a flush draw out there which my opponent can be leading as well, even though this is less common in this multi-way situation. We go heads up to the turn, and it comes the king of clubs. Ideally, we would want them to slow down, but they would be firing out another bet on the turn. This time they size up with almost a pot-sized wager, making it $125 to go. I am a bit worried at this point, and honestly, you can begin making some arguments with folding at some frequency here. This time though, I will continue and put in a call. We go to the river, and it comes the 7 of spades. Ranges have become extremely narrow at this point, and villain will not be slowing down. The triple barrel will happen as they place out a bet of $275. At this point, it is time to minimize my losses with only having top pair. You can try to make an argument for the flush draws missing and also no bad turns or rivers, but this is just not how it works. When an opponent shows strength at lowest stakes by leading multi-way, they just have it. I will happily take my top pair, top kicker, and fold because I am always going to be beat here. If you are enjoying the video so far, I would appreciate if you can give a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, to learn how to deal with other tough spots at the poker table, make sure you grab my free guide, The Low Stakes Poker Blueprint, by scanning this QR code. It gives you the 100 rules I used to win for 7 straight years. You can also receive it by clicking the pinned comment in this video to visit my website. Different situation again, as now I will not be the aggressor pre-flop with Jack 10 suited in the straddle. Villain and under the gun will open $35 and it will fold to me. I will defend and put in a call. We go heads up to a flop of Jack 8-6, 2 diamonds. Now it is a top pair weak kicker situation, and I will check. Villain will find a C bet, but it is a very small one for $15. No point in starting to raise here. I will just be putting in a call. We go to the turn, and it comes the 8 of hearts. This is a really good turn for my range and not my opponent's. If you think about it, they will only have ace 8 suited and king 8 suited from an under the gun open. This means ace 8 and king 8 of clubs or spades. I do not see them having queen 8 suited often, but it could be in someone's range if they are a bit loose. I will check the turn, and after a couple of seconds, my opponent checks back. We go to the river, and it comes the 3 of hearts. Being out of position and in the straddle, The goal has been to play passive and a bit of defense with my top pair weak kicker. Now, at this point, based on how the hand played out, some may think it is okay to check here. This will not generate the most winnings, and it is better to place out a wager. There is still hands in my opponent's range that can still call, and this will include non-pair hands such as a stubborn ace high. Ace high will always find a check back here otherwise. I will not place the biggest bet here. I just make it $35 to go. Villain goes into the tank against my bet size. After almost half of a minute, they finally put in a call. I turn over my Jack-10 suited and they will mark their cards. This is the only live poker strategy guide you need to win in 2026. It's a new year, so learn how to beat all your opponents by watching right now.